Internal Family Systems, or IFS, has been incredibly helpful and transformative in my life, and I want to share a little bit about it with you today in case you're needing a tool to help you make sense of your own feelings and behaviors in a compassionate way. IFS is a form of psychotherapy developed by Dr. Richard Schwartz. It's based on the idea that the mind is made up of many distinct parts, or sub-personalities, each with its own thoughts, emotions, and protective roles. Rather than seeing these parts as dysfunctional, IFS views them as trying their best to help you, often in ways that made sense in the past, but may now be limiting or painful. At the heart of this inner system is the self. Your calm, compassionate, and wise core that can help bring healing and harmony to all your parts. The first part I want to delve into today is Exiles, or your wounded parts. Exiles are the parts of you that carry deep emotional wounds, often related to trauma, neglect, shame, fear, or rejection. These parts were usually overwhelmed or hurt at some point in the past, and because their feelings were too intense to manage at the time, they were pushed away. There are times in our lives when we're either too young, too overwhelmed, or just plain not ready to begin processing and dealing with the deep pain our exiles often carry. That's where protectors come in. There are two types of protectors. Managers, they might manifest as perfectionism, people-pleasing, self-criticism, being hyper-controlling of either your space, your work, or the people around you. The other protector is known as a firefighter. They're called firefighters because they're essentially the emergency responders that act without thinking. And the firefighter will try to quickly put out the emotional fire with impulsive or distracting behaviors, things like substance use, rage, dissociation, binge eating, other addictive behaviors, or overworking. Firefighters, like managers, are just trying to protect you from your overwhelming pain. And it's crucial for both firefighters and managers to love and accept these parts of yourself as well and offer them compassion. And you can talk to a firefighter the same way as you would speak to a manager. Thank it for its efforts to keep you safe. Let it know that you're not trying to overwhelm anything. You just want to talk to the exiles and that you're there for them. And this is where the higher self comes in. So the self, or your inner leader, this is at the core of the IFS model. And it's not a part, but it is your essential nature. And when the self leads, that's when the healing happens. So it's yourself that would go thank the managers, let them know they're safe, let them know the exiles will be safe when you talk to them. And it's the higher self that can unburden the exiles. And the way you would do that is often exiles just want to be witnessed, they want to be seen, they want to be heard. You can essentially become their parent, a loving person to care for them. And if you do have some serious deep trauma, I would recommend finding a certified IFS therapist to work through this stuff with, because sometimes some pretty big things can come up and come through. And if you have the sense that there might be something like that you're getting ready to unpack, don't go forward alone. Find a support group, a trusted friend, and even better if it's someone who is a professional. So when the self leads, that's when the healing happens. And from this place, you can witness and soothe exiles, appreciate, negotiate with managers, and that's when you're going to really find that you restore the balance and harmony to your inner system. So the goal of IFS isn't actually to get rid of any of these parts, but to help them trust the self to lead, which will allow them to, work in harmony together. So if you want a practice for using IFS to get you started, when something comes up for you, pause and ask, well, what part of me is feeling this way? And separate from it gently. Try to observe and get curious instead of accusing yourself. Offer yourself compassion. And then see if there's a part that comes up that is the part that's feeling this way. Also notice if your managers and protectors consistently step in after a certain feeling, and that's when you can use the technique of talking to them to get through. So IFS offers a radical but intuitive truth, and it's that you're not broken. Every part of you has a reason for being, and sometimes these reasons worked for you in the past and they're not working anymore, and you can free these parts of yourselves to evolve. Whether you end up doing therapy or just a personal practice, IFS is definitely a gentle and profound way to inner healing and wholeness. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you've experienced IFS and have some stories, please share those as well.